fascinating and hilarious true story born in the dead of night. Lost in his own thoughts, he was staring at the stillness of the sea that suddenly dissolved in water. He was shocked to see a circle forming on the wide water. Also in his ears came the shallow voice of the young son of the cobbler, the Gafire of digging piles. He looked around in surprise. Ma looked at the mountains on the right side of the sea and forgot to look back. She, as a girl dressed in white, his white coat was beating in the wind. He could only see her feet, white milky feet, in which a golden color was worn. He ran towards the mountains in a mechanical manner, taking care of the beatings. Where did she go to Doshiza? Saw there were two big sloping mountains. From a distance, it was to be known what happened to the people. But if you look closely, you will see that there are two mountains. They're Mahmud peaks. They were shining in the moonlight. Behind the mountains there were several big buttes, which will surely settle. But now they had become ruins. He stood for a while trying to bring his breathing back to normal, but it seemed as if she had a heart from her chest. Begum looked surprised, and with a hand on the cheek, Takar said, taking a deep breath in surprise, "Speech? Are you waiting for all three? What happened to you? You go to Tabas Warda. Don't open anyone's clothes." "Gafara Garkoy," he said, trembling. "Don't just open the door no matter what. You took it out. Gafar is not at home. Now go, that's fine. But why are you going together?" 2. The shadows of the evening had darkened. There was also intensity in the air. The moon shines brightly. Okay, but why are you shivering? No, if not, those sarcastic tones had been. He was looking at the mountains and was wondering whether to go back or move forward. Also suddenly I said someone also knocked on the door. "Has the feminine voice lost?" He sighed. "Sufyan will happen. Sufyan will be. Shreya Khatun." She moved towards the door. "Don't miss the door." Gafar Mochi walked loudly and shouted. Hearing the voice and the sound of laughter, Buzul was actually drunk, but he shook off the fear. He started crying. Moved forward with impurity. That steep slope. At the next bridge, the entire village gathered at Gafar Mochi's house. He was climbing the mountains. Was his stubborn young son, was dead. He was conscious again and again. Soraya Khatun to take the shroud of Saket. In the morning, people saw the body lying near the sea and ran to it. Corpse face as usual. She was looking at the dead body of her young son. It was forbidden. "Oh, this is a letter of forgiveness," a man said sadly. "He does not read the city?" The other person raised his eyebrows and said in a confused tone, "Yes, it is in the city. But I saw it yesterday. He was walking in the fields dressed in a blue suit." A dying woman said with her hands on her head. "The man also had a blue suit on his body." "Come on, even if you don't know it, you don't come back to the sea." "I knew that the place was paved." "Then why did you go here?" On this occasion also some Dana women from Soraya Khatun. They were asking questions. The young men of this pind have lost their vision. Remember, just last month, Mot Halwai died on the same day. His face was also deformed. Remember. To go. A person filled the cold breath, and from him the letter of Hakim Jafar last year, he said regretfully. They carry the body on their shoulders, raised and moved towards the village. "Hey, don't shut up. My kidney is damaged. We'll go." Gafar Mochi was wandering around worried. Seeing the dead body on the shoulders of the villagers, they stepped forward. "Oh, just shut up. Take the name of grace. We'll go," a woman clapping her hands on her chest, ran and went home and put on the doorknob. "Soraya," he said while rubbing his nose with. The women's band had started again, as the men came to carry the funeral. The women shouted loudly at once and followed the funeral procession. The woman was unconscious there. I was carrying my best friend on my shoulders. My liver was bursting with pain. My step, they were listening. Ma told Sufyan last evening. I remembered the conversation. "Let's go see the sea. Today is Changi 14th, the full moon shining in the sea. How attractive the image would be in the evening." He said in a dreamy tone, closing his eyes. "Yes, when the princess witch comes, right?" Bakshi will take you along, I said sarcastically. My friend, these spirits are nothing but ghosts in Budru. Now tell the person who died. What will he kill someone? The matter is something else. He nodded thoughtfully. One day I will go behind the mountains. I will go and find out. Is that the real issue? Source till today, whoever went to sea at sunset time did not come back. You will find out. Ha 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 ha. Baba laughed sarcastically. Well, don't talk too much. I'll go now, he said angrily. Hey, just kidding, dude. How many events do you not see with your own eyes? The stories that people see. Or what R. Ahmad makes, is he true or false? That bit towards me. Bowing down, he said confidentially. No, I said briefly. Why? He raised his eyebrows and looked at me questioningly. Because I'm afraid. I took a deep breath. He laughed loudly and ha 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 said while taking ha 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 yara scared like girls. He patted my shoulder and said, why is there no heart in a man's chest? He cannot be afraid. There is a heart, but the feelings of flesh and blood, not emotional, of stone, powerful, tough. Yours will be powerful, mine is not, I said, shaking my head. And Aludai walked home shaking hands. His father's small shop there was sitting on, it has been a month since Sufyan's death. I don't know why my heart wants to go to the sea again and again. As soon as the Maghrib Adhan is heard in the mosque, my heart becomes restless. Despite many efforts, this thought cannot be shaken. I feel as if someone is calling me to the sea. What a strange feeling. I could not explain to anyone. They started walking in the cold air from this evening. I don't know how I came and sat on the seashore. I came to my senses when Payal coughed. I turned and looked in the direction of the sound. A white girl fluttered in the wind blowing through the trees on the seashore. She was moving towards the mountains. His gait was similar. I was surprised to see Daya. Even that girl went to the foothills of the Morning Mountains and disappeared. I was sitting on the seashore as a stone idol. The seawater had turned golden and returned to its original state. My heart was pounding. I wanted to get up, but it seemed as if my legs had no life. The sound of feminine laughter also echoed. My heart is closed with fear. Done. Manzoor Darcy would ask everyone, used to walk, has anyone seen my son? At night did not come home. He used to come home late before, but it never happened that he did not come home all night. So look for it at night. Niaz Ahmed fixed the plate and decorated it with fresh vegetables and said, Bakhtan did not tell me in the morning that Ahmad did not come home at night. Manzoor Darzi took a deep breath and said, come and look at the sea. Take the jailed wrestler with you. He held out the empty glass to Bakhtan. Surprised, she turned around and filled another glass of water and moved it towards him. Everyone knocked on the door. A full glass of water fell away from the hand of the sanctioned person. Where was it? At Bakhtan's loud voice, Manzoor Darcy opened his eyes as fast as lightning. Niaz Ahmad said in a loose manner while pushing, running from Manzoor Darcy Ka. He came and sat on 4 legs. Manzoor Darcy walked towards. The wrestler also came out from fear of the body. He looked at his son with disbelief. Was with friends. Which friends, Lucky? What happened? All is well, Jail Pelwin said, waving his hand. Yes, all is well. Okay, Manzoor Darcy went home while shaking his head, brightly speaking in a harsh tone. There is someone, Ahmed said with disgust in his hands. Made a pillow and lay down on 4 legs. Do you know how many we are? Don't fall on the face of the sun. They were worried, she said with an angry glare. So he groaned and sat up. He closed his eyes for some time. Then Manzoor Darzi got up with a jerk and laid down on all 4s. Take a full bite. Suddenly he saw the roaring waves of the sea and he stood up with a big shout. Where am I? He started questioning himself. Ahmed, at a sharp sound, he looked at the plate. Gamanai was coming towards him. Oh, Ahmed, your father was looking for you. Good. They are confused, bitten on the wrist. The attack was so sudden that Ahmed screamed in agony, sat up. What happened? Agreed. Bakhtan looked at her husband in surprise. So you are my Ahmad, right? My son. He kissed Ahmed's face. He would say in a tone of voice. Walked home. Holding in his hands, he spoke in a lost tone. Ahmed, Manzoor, where is Ahmed? As soon as Manzoor Darcy entered the house, he heard Bakhtan's worried voice. He nodded his head. So Manzoor Darcy rejected him. It was applied to the chest. Collided with, will come, will come. Has anyone come yet? Someone in it. On the phone. It has been fixed. Bakhtan walked towards the kitchen with a big smile. As the evening wore on, his heart began to grow restless. Payal. He fell on all fours. What happened? Bakhtan ran to her husband. Pani Manzoor Darcy would rub his tongue on the dry lips. I wish I was a golden pail. At least it would have been wrapped around his feet. He wrapped both arms around the legs. He said. Bakhta ran and filled a glass of water from the jar. J. Manzoor Darcy drank in one breath, and he was thinking with his chin on his knees. Why is Ahmad sitting like this, son? Come on, no. Nothing, just the same. I looked at my mother in shock. He saw and began to blame himself for his thought. After some time, the shoes were on towards the door. It was growing that mother came forward. Go back, not going anywhere at this time. I am not a child, I said in Rohan's tone. For us, it is a child. 12 whole years. It happened after 12 years. Now I'm done, isn't it? I said miserably. Yes, but it is the same for us. As if you were born today. Well done, go to sleep. I will come right now. Only 10 minutes? I stubbornly said while holding Amma's hand. Not a minute, not even a minute. Come on, Amma said in a final tone. Forced me on 4 pies. Had to go and lie down. What time of night was it? When my eyes opened, Mom and Dad's snoring echoed in the room. I got up and walked towards the door. Then Mother's loud voice echoed. Where are you going? I quickly turned around, entered the bathroom. Not even Mother. I shivered and lay down on the bed. In the morning after breakfast, I left the house. Run after me like a soldier. Where to go? Stay, Ahmed. He chewed in the cemetery. Let me walk with you. I took a deep breath and walked forward with both hands. Offered. He started walking forward smiling. I, burning with anger, Pada started walking behind them. 7. As soon as we reached the graveyard, as usual, we met Nur and Ma for the first time. He is the same as always, Jumla was muttering. All will be caught. All will be caught. Now stop it, Nur and Mother. It's been a long time. Have gone, Abba stressed on the elder. Chaudhry was devastated, full revenge. But you did. Pind was abandoned. Nur and Ma began to grow stronger. Weak, his eyes filled with tears. For me, the apples were spoiled on the same day. When my Princess Adrian was, he made his own by saying this in a lost tone. Repeating the sentence, she went to one side. No, all will be caught. All will be caught. Abba and I first went to Wadi's grave, and then to Sufyan. Father, you believe that the witch on the sea, the soul of the princess? 100%. Abba spoke in a strong tone. Father, what happened that day? Tell me, I have told you 1,000 times. A kid knows a kid. Shut up. Pray for... No, Father, tell me again in detail. He objected. Abba said while taking a deep breath. At that time we were small. Nurin's mother's husband had died. She used to go to work in the Haveli of Chaudhry Nisar Ali. He had only one daughter. Princess, very beautiful gazelle eyes. Black long hair, red and white. The color and the length of the length was also good. Like a queen of a kingdom. Almost every boy in the neighborhood would send us a letter asking us to go. Give it to the princess. Chaudhry Nisar Ali was a rich man. He say, many hits were made on the edge. Whenever there was a ceremony to be held, Chaudhry Nisar Ali used to make some of these bits. His son was married. Marriage. Already everyone in the mansion shifted into bits. Nur and Mother also took the princess and went with them. I remember well the people who came between Asr Maghrib. They did not turn this way either, who believed that the spirit of the princess had taken revenge on everyone. The meeting broke up. Some people thought of occupying bits. That is what happened to them, which belonged to its owners. Since then, people have gone to the sea. It was time. when Nur and Mother Banshi's intention came to father. All Husseins are their tailor. Great honor to you. Tell them to give me my daughter. Who, why? They began to avoid. Now the new generation does not know this thing, and the end is in front of you. Whoever went there. Kasuya did not return to Vazan twice at sunset. Father said to Nur and Mother, while making circles. She said with tears in her eyes. She is not getting it. Who is not meeting? My princess, she on the chest. She said, holding out her hand. We will find the lights, so sit down and drink water again. I came out of my mouth spontaneously. Did you go there? Abba stammered in confusion. It was detailed, he said. Abba consoled him. No, how about Ghulam Hussein? Yes, I went this morning. I took over. Oh, good morning, Dad breathed a sigh of relief. Is in the water. I am sure that Chaudhry Nisar Ali's sons have not hidden my princess. Come with me, drink it. My princess is dying. That's hard. Even after returning home, the same incidents happened. Kept thinking about Ma. I thought that the spirit of Kabar princess is waiting for someone to come and give her a shroud too. Instead, tell all the pandits to go, she said, rubbing her eyes. Maybe that's why she wandered till today. I thought for a while. Then make a decision. Abba gathered the villagers. The whole thing, placed in front of all the villagers, lay down peacefully near the sea. Chaudhry went to Nisar Ali. The huts lined up were bathed in lights. How long did the late ones stand outside? Even 14 Narmili did not come out. Rather this. On the next page I went to the city, bought a good shroud cloth from there. Fortunately, father's health was bad, so he did not come to Dadgan. I quickly cut the shroud and started sewing. He did it. The shroud was ready for an hour. I am very happy. The employees pushed the villagers away. Nur and Ma used to be there all day. It was only a few days after this incident that Chaudhry Nisar Ali's death was over. Nur and Ma was so happy that day that the mutilated body was found lying on the seashore and the village made a noise. Happened I was wrapping the shroud when my father came. How much is it? Ahane asked while taking the shroud from my hands. I looked at my father with a pious face. Has speech become mute? Father of the house. Would lose it and just started repeating the sentence so that everyone would catch it. Everyone will go. Whoever went to the seashore would have died. It happened slowly. Of the princess, I said, spitting. What whose? They looked at me in a dazed manner, as if they had not heard anything. All the people in the mansion died like this. People started calling these bits demonic. For fun of the princess, I said with satisfaction. Your mind is not damaged. Father spoke a harsh tone. Could it not be that the spirit of the princess is waiting? Someone come, and without it, give the existence of Kudhanab. Give him a shroud and bury him. Someone came, and also at his grave. Read Fatiha, if the candle is lit. Look, my son, when this incident happened, I was 9 or 10 years old. Now I am 50 years old. So I am 21 years old. Fishes must have eaten his body or else earth insects. You know, Father, Allah Almighty gave Pharaoh the sea. Why did I drown? Why? Abba frowned and looked at me. He asked, to preserve his body, to come. People of the times should learn from it. What does this have to do with you? It is related, I am sure. Chaudhry Nisar Ali. After being raped by the sons of the princess, the body was thrown into the sea. I must have thrown. Come with me once. I stubbornly held Aya's hands. Said Abba took a deep breath and nodded. But not alone. We also other people of the village. We'll take along. Father raised his hand and said, Yes, as you say, I said happily. Early in the morning, we were a group of 12 people, walked towards crossing the steep mountains. We approached huts, hide in a row. There were hits. Right in front of them. The sea flowed. There were mountains on one side and mountains on the other side. Big trees. We all got into different bits and there was a needle around the corner. Gone are the spiders. Fall on everything. Had made a place to move. We went around and saw everything. Together one. Many windows shook violently, and everyone ran outside. I quickly moved to that window. I was shocked. From this window, the sea, mountains, and trees were all seen. I was shocked to see this scene. I went forward in the same carelessness and leaned against the window. As fast as an arrow, I looked at the bunch of trees on the seashore. It was as if the mountains were overshadowing these trees. I came down fast and came down blind and ran blindly to this place. Dad was behind me. I saw a structure lying there, the signs of which were telling that it was the skeleton of a young girl. Abba used to see this structure from Ganga too. I took out the shroud from the shoulder bag and covered the princess. This news spread like wildfire in the village. When everyone was coming to see this structure with surprise, the imam of the mosque performed the funeral. Someone said, Nurin Ma, to see. It has been so long since I took my daughter. But look how your daughter is lying, as if you just died. The one who said, moving forward, Nurin shook the mother's shoulder, and she was dead. A long time has passed since this incident. Now there is an empty field in place of the sea. The tree is dry. Some fell. Some were uprooted by storms. Some were bitten. The mountains have collapsed and all is gone, but a lot is still there today. Father said that hit was used by Chaudhry Nisar Ali, that is, whenever he came to the sea. In the same hit, lived, I still wonder why the princess didn't hit me that evening.